So, if you are serious about growing your production and building a business that doesn't stop when you do, then these weekly mastermind drops are going to be for you. I'm going to pull back the curtain on exactly what's working right now for top agents across the country. So, let's get to work.
Well, good morning, Freedom Team. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Like I just shared a minute ago, I've left Colorado for the next 17 days. I'm going to be on the road. So I'm at an Airbnb in Dallas here for about a week. Then I'll be heading down to Houston for about 3, 4 days, back up to Dallas for a Dallas event. Then I'm flying into Memphis, Tennessee for a celebration of life, then driving all the way back home. Anyway, I figured out the hours, about 45 hours worth of drive time over the next 17. Oh my God. I'm not looking forward to that. But hey guys, like always, thank you so much for coming on here, Jeff. We sincerely appreciate you jumping on. I'm going to give this gentleman's background. He's out of Tampa Bay, and I'm just like you guys, don't know a lot about Jeff right now. So this is going to be fun to get to know him here today. So a little bit about Jeff. He's a prominent figure in the real estate industry, known for his remarkable success and innovative approach. He launched his career in 2005, quickly earning recognition as a top performing agent, and has since been leading Team Borum at EXP Realty, the #1 real estate team in Tampa Bay. His vast experience covers a range of real estate facets, including new construction, probate, family law transactions, and he works closely with buyers, sellers, and investors. He's recognized as a leading sales trainer and speaker. He is sought after for industry insights and expertise, committed to excellence and passionate about creating opportunities for others. His vision is to drive the Tampa Bay area forward through superior real estate services, community involvement, and philanthropy. Jeff is synonymous with energy, knowledge, and an enduring passion for real estate, building not just a business, but a lasting legacy. Don't we all want to leave a legacy? Well, good morning, Jeff. Thank you
Morning.
for showing up here. We sincerely appreciate it. We're all on here, eager beavers to learn what in the world you've done to build a big business. So, but why don't we start back? Anything else you'd like for us to know about you, your background and stuff, and then maybe just take us into your real estate career, if you wouldn't mind, maybe
Yeah.
to the point of before you were called or approached about EXP.
Okay. Sure, I can do that. So I'm a native of the area, born and raised, and just growing up was always a math guy. So I always thought I would be in finance or move up to Wall Street, do something with money, which I am just through real estate. And when I was 19, I bought a little house, renovated it, and sold it for a profit. So that's really how I got into real estate. Is after I sold that house, I went and bought a condo. And when I bought the condo, it was from it was a condo conversion developer, and they hired me to be a salesperson. So I was their sales assistant for most of 2005, and then got promoted to being, a full salesperson. So I did on-site sales for 4 years until the market crashed. In 08, I was actually the condo conversion market died really in 07. Like the back half of 07 was really rough. And then in 08, I was one of the lead salespeople for a receivership. So a receivership is basically like one big court ordered short sale, for lack of a better term. So I started to get some experience dealing with courts and things of that nature. So I went on and sold just tons of short sales and REO properties, et cetera, until 2012. The market just, magically turned back on, and I started, really laying the foundation to build a business, which I, got my sales up in 2014. I think I sold 34 or 36 properties. And then 2015, I sold 85. So that's really when I, got the sales count up to where it made sense to start hiring people and making it into a business. So I did that. I, quickly went from 85 to 126 to 175 sales. And then I kind of got a little bit, high and mighty, if you will. I'm like, oh, well, I got this whole team thing figured out after 2-3 years. I'm going to go be a coach, a trainer, all these other things, because, why would you not just, make your team kick butt? Let's do 5 other jobs. So I did, which was, obviously at the time, good and bad. I learned a ton by coaching others, training others, and I kind of took the eye off of my team a little bit. So we went from 175 to 181 to 234 to like 306 units, and then I'm at EXP.
Okay. So you had a thriving business, and you were running an independent or just running a team at
No,
another?
I was with another big brokerage.
Okay. Okay. Well, that is a massive team. Do you mind me asking how many agents to produce 300 transactions?
I was like 10 to 12 agents on the team. And
Okay.
then, I kind of got sucked into the like, I want to have a huge team, and I scaled it up to like 50 agents, but our production didn't go up, and I candidly hated it. My expenses went up. I was making less money
Yeah.
and babysitting more people. And I'm like, okay, well, this is too big. Like, and this is when the market turned, like, now we're at EXP, and 2023 and 24 weren't exactly the greatest years to run a big real estate team. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to scale out of this. And when the transaction count shifts in our favor, I'm going to capitalize. I think I was just a year and a half too early on going that big. So I kind of descaled my team to make it make more sense for the current market. So right now we have, really between 20, 25 agents at this moment.
Okay.
And we're still sell 300 homes this year, roughly.
Gotcha. Okay, so take us to so you're running your business. Sounds like things were going pretty well. I don't know if you were in the process of scaling or going backwards, but how was the whole approach with EXP? Was this somebody you knew? Phone call?
Yeah.
Yeah, how'd you learn
Yeah, it
about
was just it was a buddy of mine from the previous brokerage called me when he was at EXP Con in 2021. So so whatever that was, probably October of 21. And I like briefly talked to him, but he wasn't very aggressive. I had done a call actually with another agent and someone in his upline. So like I was in the whole like exploratory. I was looking at Real, I was looking at EXP, I was looking at staying where I was seeing what they were willing to offer me, not offer me. And then I'm like, you know what, I'd rather like hang out with my friends that actually like know real estate and mastermind. And I went on a couple of different groups like mastermind calls, and I'm like, okay, this is really good value. So like I liked that EXP kind of felt like it was in growth contribution mode, and I kind of missed that at my previous brokerage. It had been like that earlier in my career, and then I feel like that kind of got stale and like just blah, like versus when I started masterminding with people at EXP, I started hearing things that I hadn't heard before. And that was really cool for me, was like, oh, there's like other ways of selling real estate and different things that I can learn at a different brokerage.
Yeah. And you know what? I hear that so much, Jeff. That seems to be versus the stock, the rev share thing. It's the camaraderie, it's the culture, it's the ability to grow because massive mega agents and teams have all come over here. And so we're just continuing.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
incredible. So you came over, how many people did you bring with you from your team?
I brought 10 agents with me
Okay.
when I came over.
And then what did it look like your very first year? Did you dive into, or let me ask you this. So it was mainly that culture, that ability to learn and everything that ignited you and pulled you over
Yep.
here. So your very first year you got here, did you immediately jump into RevShare or did you?
Yeah.
Okay, what did that
Yeah,
look
yeah.
like?
I actually did it a lot better then than I do now. I've kind of taken my eye off the prize. So um I am getting back into it now. So this call was actually perfect timing. So I had I got hard and heavy right from the go bringing in people. So I don't know exactly how long it took me, but I think it took me about 18 months to get to 100 people like
Okay.
total in my tree. Maybe a little bit faster than that. And then I got up to about 250 people, but some of that was fluff. So like the last 6 months, I feel like my group has really condensed. So I have 205 people, but it's like 205 real people now, not
Yeah.
fluff. So
Yeah.
that's really good. So now, if interest rates do continue to float lower and the market does turn back on, I feel like that 200 is going to turn into 400, maybe even 500 real fast once we get things behind us, because there are 200 real people.
Gotcha. And so you came over with your 10. Have you grown your traditional team as well, or has this all just been your group that's growing to the 205?
Well, like I said, my team, I got up to like 50 people, which was some of that fluff that I was talking about in my RevShare group. So now, I have about 25 people on my team, and most of them are in my downline. So my team's about 10% of my downline.
Gotcha. Okay. And your current group right now, um, So when you came in to begin with, brought over the 10 agents, did they also start to build, or was this primarily you?
No, team agents don't generally build, and I don't ever want to like put that out to them so that they don't do it. But between us, like, and if you are a team agent, you're building, like, God bless you. It's just like traditionally they don't. Like, team agents are team agents for a reason. And that doesn't mean that they're not high level or can't sell a lot. I mean, I have people on my team that sell 35, 40 houses like clockwork. It's just that they're more like, I think the difference between a team agent and a team lead is that team leads are obviously more entrepreneurial, so we can do multiple things, or like
Yeah.
high level single agents, whatever, can handle more things. People that are team agents on teams are usually more like one trick ponies. Like, I'm really, really good at converting this lead source and following the process and selling real estate. But so to answer your question, my team has not really helped a lot with the RevShare group.
Okay. Well, let's get into you then. If this was primarily you, you did something pretty awesome out of the gate. What did that first year look like? And were you calling on
Yeah,
relationships, or what did it, how did it?
yeah. Yeah, so what I wanted to do originally was find other people like me. So, like, people that I had mastermind with and known for a long time. I'm like, hey, like, let's talk. And I made a mission of like, I want to bring over 10 team leads, right? Because it seemed like a good number. If you have 10 people that recruit below you, in theory, like, you should be pretty set. So it's the whole real estate team model. Instead of me selling everything, I go and hire 10 agents to help me sell 300 homes. Well, if I want to, obviously, ultimately, I'd like to have, enough rev share that, it does pay all of my bills. So in order to do that, I really need, that 400 to 500 person group would pay all of my bills. So I'm like, okay, do I want to recruit 500 people, or do me and 10 people want to bring over 500 people? So my focus originally was really just finding 10 people that could also attract to the company.
And let's walk through, if you wouldn't mind, what that looked like. So you're going after other team leaders, like you said, people that were on the masterminds, and were these outbound calls, and what did that, if you don't mind, maybe?
Yeah, messages, texts, calls, invite to events. I wouldn't say that it was anything fancy. It's just be in relationship. And these are people that I knew. So
Yeah.
it wasn't cold calls. It's just like, hey, like, here's what I'm doing, here's why I'm thinking I'm doing it. Does that sound like something you'd like to find more, find out more about? If you keep it simple with people and let them raise their hand, because people ask questions. If you have influence over people and you make a change, or you post something, or you do something, people want to know why you did it.
Yeah. And your approach, like you said, was all over the place. But when you did want to share with them EXP, did you generally person, face to face? You do a Zoom, press play, go through a PowerPoint? What did you do?
Yeah, a lot of the people that I know are out of the area, so a lot of it was Zoom. And I'm a firm believer that you should always do a three-way call, versus handling it yourself. Even if I'm, a talented salesperson, attractor, recruiter, whatever you want to call me, I still have the relationship. So, like, it's just Jeff, right? So it's
Yeah.
you need that third party validation. So I'm not big on going through a slideshow. Perhaps, I might send them a link to, like, why EXP, EXP explained, to get them excited. When we're on the call, though, I just want to make it about them. What's important to you? What are you looking for in your business? Make it a real consult about what value they need to go to the next level, and then
Yep.
see if we have that value for them.
Gotcha. Did you also bring over some other big team leaders like yourself, or any independents?
I haven't brought over any independents. I have brought over team leads. Not necessarily with as big a teams as I have, but teams.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Has anything changed? You've been here since 21. So the way that you were approaching that very first year, is anything different today, a few years later?
Yeah. I think we all have patterns, right? And one of my patterns is that when I get results, I get bored sometimes, and I like go to other things. So I think it's just, I think about it, think about this, all of the time, money, energy that I put into scaling my real estate team from like 12 agents to 50 agents, if I would have put that into RevShare, I'd already be making retirement money. So I think it's just like really being able to prioritize and understand, like, what are your actual goals? Because all the energy I put into building my team didn't make me any money. And if I would have put that same energy into RevShare, I'd be making at least double what I'm making now, most likely, if not triple. So for me now, it's like, let's work really smart, not harder. Like I'm at the point in my career where honestly, I just don't have the energy to like run around and do 50 things that don't make sense. So it's like, you know, when I do a flip, I hire a project manager to babysit the flip. Like everything that I do has to have a third person or a person between me and the goal. So my job right now with RevShare is just let kind of like natural attraction happen. And then I do have 10 builders, not in just my first level, the first two. So I'm kind of letting myself off the hook there. So I really just want to pour into those 10 people and support them. And then slowly but surely get my 10 on my first level and not need it, you know, spread out between the first and the second. And then we have a huge opportunity here now with co-sponsoring. So you know, at least for people like me, massive opportunity. So I'm having agents in Tampa reach out to me, ask, you know, like, hey, I'm not in your downline, but can you help me recruit? And we can co-sponsor together. So I think that's really a place that I'm going to put some energy is, you know, see who wants to raise their hand and, you know, attract people in Tampa Bay. And then see if I can be that, you know, alleged, you know, big name or validation to help them bring people over.
Gotcha. And you mind me asking, your 10 generals or builders, whatever you want to call them, do you have like once a week meetings with them? What do you guys do to kind of keep
I have a standing call with several of them, and then everyone else just group text, check-ins, you know, things of that nature. Most of them, you know, we're in the fast forward movement, so they, you know, Dan Beer and Kyle Whistle do a great job of having masterminds and training. So another thing that I learned quickly is like, I don't need to duplicate. Like if these people are in your downline, like they don't need to set up a call like this because you're already doing it. So for me, it's like, I don't need to like triple layer value prop. I need to find like, where do you guys actually need me? Because you're getting all this value from the group and EXP. So what do you actually need from Jeff? Like what little sliver of value do you need from me to help you go to the next level?
Gotcha. Okay. And so here we are in 2025. I'm just curious, do you have a goal set for yourself on the RevShare where you want to be by the end of the year?
You know, I'm at 205. I would like to be at 300. So I think that this year is going to be a lot easier to bring people over than last year was. And you know, that's part of my work smarter, not harder, is like you can make money so many different ways, right? Like I can make money from selling real estate. You know, I happen to also be in mortgage and title and do flips and rev share. So like I have so many different ways I can make money that part of the work smarter, not harder is where really needs like the bulk of my energy this year. Where do I think I can make easier big money? Is it me going back out in the field and being a listing agent and just go list, you know, 5 houses a month and make money that way? Is it doing 2 flips a month and making all my money from flips? So that's something that I really like self-analyze is where can we make money this year? And one of the places I think we can make money this year is not that you can in any year. I just think this year is going to be easier. So it's a better use of my time is RevShare. So RevShare for me, flips are the 2 places that I'm putting more of my energy this year.
Gotcha. Real quick, I'm going to kind of flash back from just think about this for a minute, but Real, you said you looked at Real in the very beginning as well.
Yeah.
Did you take a pretty in-depth look, and what was the primary differences when you kind of looked into both of them?
Yeah, I mean, short term, I should have gone to Real for a short term. I think long term, great decision, and here's why. So Real, I was talking when I was talking to them, it was back when they only had like 2,000 agents, blah blah blah. So I was being offered the Florida growth director role. So it was kind of you know, you get extra stock options. You know, you're kind of on the pedestal to recruit and support and do all these things. And the reason I didn't go there was they're just up to their eyes in debt. And then B, their rev share made sense if you're a small attractor, because at least at the time, you know, they were paying out more on like the first 2 levels than EXP. I think that EXP's rev share payout now total is better, you know, than anybody, let alone Real. But then Real just started putting in place all these restrictions, like they capped how much rev share you could get. They came out with their co-sponsoring doesn't make any sense. So like when I look at it, because they were going to give me thousands and thousands and thousands of stock options. So the only thing I could have made more money on was the stock options. But the actual company, obviously very happy I made the decision to stay at EXP. The collaboration, there's just more higher level agents for me to learn from. There's more collaboration, and being in Tampa Bay, one of our big sources for real estate is agent referrals. We're closed 12 to 15% of our business is referrals because there's just so many people moving here or things happening in Tampa Bay. And when I was looking at the time, EXP had probably like 60,000 agents. So I'm like, okay, am I going to get more referrals from a 60,000 person brokerage or a 2,000 person brokerage? So I had to think about my team as well. Even if I thought I could make money on stock options, did it make sense for the bigger picture? And that's what we need to do a better job of in our business and our life, is always take that step back and analyze the whole picture and make sure we're making the right decisions with our time.
Yeah, agree. Kelly put down here in the chat, you mentioned you put lots of energy into your team and didn't make money. Can you go deeper on what held you back from making money with this model?
Well, I think luck and time matters. Like, anybody that tells you luck and timing don't matter is lying to you. So the timing of me scaling my team was, in hindsight, like the worst timing ever. So we're in a market where transaction count is down 40-45% from peak levels, and even from pre-pandemic levels we're down 30% in transaction count. So to be in a compressed environment like that, and when you're scaling a real estate team, most of the people that you hire are brand new agents. So you're bringing in, baby agents, brand new agents in the toughest selling environment that we've seen in my entire adult lifetime. So for me, I'm 40 years old. So in the last 40 years, the last 2 years were the toughest real estate years. Not 07 and 08 weren't tough, but the last 2 years were tougher. So we're in the toughest real estate environment in our adult lifetimes, and it's just hard to scale in that environment. And I wasn't good enough. As far as what we do, I mean, we have an entire 2-week boot camp. We have weekly trainings. We have mentors involved. Like, my team was and is set up to scale very easily. That's one of the advantages, again, of being at EXP is, Kyle Whistle, who last year at the #1 team in the company, basically gave me open access to his leadership team. So I had his sales manager, his onboarding trainer, et cetera, basically teach my staff how they did it, and then we basically made our model of that. Obviously, I talked to other people as well, but I'll give Kyle credit. He's the one that really said, here's my playbook, do with it what you will. So, I think, like I said, just honestly, I don't even know that I could have done it any differently, that it would have made sense. It was just really bad timing.
Yeah. You remind me when at the conference there in Orlando, when Glenn was up on stage, I'll never forget that. And he said, guys, a lot of folks don't know this is the worst it's been. I think he said 37 years. It's the worst we've seen in the industry. So yeah, like you said, in our adult lifetime, this is the worst it's ever been. But it's turning around, gang. It's all starting to move in a positive direction. Thank God.
Well, think about it. It's always darkest before the dawn, right? Like, not to be overly cliche. It's like, so go back to the regular real estate market in the Great Recession. The back half of 07 was tough. 08, 09, 10 were really the bad years. 2011 wasn't that bad. And then 2012, it turned right back on. So even the Great Recession was really only 3.5 years. Do you know how long we've been in a descending transaction count market? The US real estate market peaked in September of 21 from a transaction count standpoint. So we're already a full 3.5 years into a depressed buyer demand market. So there's only so long that markets like this last. We're already at 3.5 years of a descending market. We're due for a comeback. So
no doubt. Looks like a little follow-up here with Kelly. How do you help your team be more productive? You talking about traditional team?
Yeah, he answered that with.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done trainings on it probably 12 times. Anyone that raises their hand, I'll meet with one-on-one and talk about it. So obviously I would love for them to do it. It just hasn't panned out.
I got you. Look there in the chat as well. Mark Mess just put up a question. I'll let you read it, Jeff. You see your chat?
Sure.
And Mark, if you want to come on speaker, dude, either
Oh,
way.
just the ones that are, well, I mean, I just answered that. So we just, I've done overall trainings on it, and anyone that's raised their hand I've met with and kind of just attempted to come up with a game plan for them.
Yeah. So one-on-one, you'll meet with some of the generals, just help them with whatever their
Yeah.
goals are and whatever you can do to be a
Yeah.
friend.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's how I view life and business in general, right? So like, if I'm like, I can have a goal of making X dollars running my real estate team, right? And then I have to then get buy-in from my agents. Well, I can't create their buy-in. Like you can't tell a buyer's agent you need them to sell 40 homes. Like they're going to sell what they're going to sell. And that's one thing that I've learned. Like we can give them little motivational videos. We can help them with their big why. We can do this. The fact of the matter is, in business, for 99% of people, once their financial needs are met, like getting them to push harder on that gas pedal is next to impossible. So I think that's like that realization that if I want to sell 300 homes and the agents on my team's goals add up to 250, I better sell 50 homes or go hire agents that can sell 50 homes. Like I'm not going to get the agents that set goals for 250 to sell 300. It's not going to happen. So it's the same thing in RevShare. Like I have to, if Jeff Borham wants 500 people in my RevShare group, I better go recruit 300 people, or I better go recruit the 10 people that can recruit the 300 people.
Yeah. I didn't even ask you, Jeff. What's your front line? FLA, FLQA?
I have 30 FLAs. I don't know the QAs off the top of my head, but it's 30 in my front line.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Well, let's say anybody else have any questions other than Kelly and Mark? Anybody got questions for Jeff?
Well, the reason, Jeff, I asked about when you said I didn't make money with my team, I have a broker owner I'm talking with today. He's got 115 people in his office. And he said the other day he's break even on the office on that. And that seems amazing to take that liability and that overhead and be break even on it.
Well, I mean, I can talk about that for a second. One of the number one questions I get asked is why I don't own a brokerage. And I'm like, because I like money. Like what exact value or increase in money would I make by flipping EXP off and being, Borum Realty? I would not want to deal with all of the broker compliance shit and complaints. So I'd probably have to hire somebody. So what it would do for me? I'd have to hire another person. I'd have another salary to pay. So, this year I'll make around $100,000 in revenue share, and I don't have to be a broker. So, where's all the money? Unless you're an innovative genius and you're creating a brokerage that doesn't exist yet that you can make into the next EXP. In my humblest of opinions, like mom and pop brokerages, just regular traditional brokerages, it's just here we are. You can break even. So, I can tell you I'll never own a brokerage when it comes to selling real estate. Maybe I'll own a brokerage when it comes to property management, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Question. Jeff, I'm just wondering if you have any success stories of working with agents in your organization that maybe they're struggling, that maybe you sat down. I love your one-on-one approach to helping agents figure out where they are, where they want to go, what their goals are. Do you have any success stories of meeting with them, talking about building a RevShare organization? Someone that maybe like is a part-timer, but helping them like, oh, right in front of you. No.
You said the magic words, part-timer. So we have to dig there. What's that mean? What does part-timer mean? Do they have 10 hours of dedicated time for real estate? Do they have 5 hours dedicated for RevShare? If they do and they follow their calendar, they can do it. I don't have one of those success stories, but that's what it takes. Like you can't not be in real estate and build RevShare, in my opinion, right now. Unless you already did it and you have a huge name and a coaching company and this and that. If you're a regular agent, you got to have 10 hours a week for real estate so that you're in the game, so you know what's going on. And then you need 5 hours minimum dedicated to, reaching out to agents, inviting them to, trainings, masterminds, whatever, get them plugged in, and then follow-up calls, etc. when you do that consistently, though, it'll snowball.
But it sounds like you take an honest, direct approach with everyone. And so I'm sure you've had those conversations. Have you had people say, I appreciate you sharing with me what I need to do, and they actually have turned the corner and maybe have had success, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I've obviously taught people in my group how to recruit. Yeah, most people, even good salespeople, aren't good attractors or recruiters, whatever you like to call it. So that's where, like, me being a business coach helped a lot, is like, you just shut up and let people talk sometimes and ask a couple questions and let them get going, because every salesperson likes to talk about themselves, 99% of the time. So it's the key is to not just like puke EXP on them. It's just to find out what value hole they have and then show them the value that EXP has that can fill that hole. I think that's the key, that a lot of people don't have that skill to just ask a question and shut up. Instead we're like, oh, well, we can fix that. It's like, if you're on a listing appointment, right, or a buyer consult, and you're doing a consultation with someone, and I say to you, hey, what's the most important thing about selling your property, that if it happens, you're going to give me a 5-star review on Google after your home closes? And they say price, and I say, great. I don't say I can sell your home for the most money possible. I say, well, tell me more about price. What number are you looking for specifically? How much money net are you looking to get out of the house? What will that enable you to do? Right? We're asking follow-up questions and really getting to the meat of the matter. We're not just like, I can fix that for you, So just remember, when you're doing a needs analysis, you're not fixing problems in a needs analysis. You're gathering information in the needs analysis so that you can have the right dialogues in your consultation. But a needs analysis is not where you fix things. Whether it's selling real estate or bringing people to EXP, that's not where you do it.
Yeah, agree. A lot of tell me more about that, or so what other challenges do you have, and just continue to dig deep. Good stuff. Good stuff. Anybody else? Because we don't have to go the full hour, guys, if no one has any other questions, but anybody got anything else for Jeffrey here?
I'll just give you guys a tip real quick if you guys don't have a question.
Yes.
Just get yourself involved. If RevShare is something that you want to do, go in your MLS every day and find somebody that had a big sale. Find somebody that did something and just text them and be like, hey, hey, Jeff, saw you had a great sale at 123 Main Street. Just wanted to give you some positivity today as a a co-realtor in the industry. Big sale, great job. Like, if we just start engaging people with positivity and energy, like, it's just like, obviously that text isn't probably going to get you someone in your downline, and yet it's just something easy to get you into positivity and get you into dialogue with other agents. And then you're just warming yourself up so that when that agents do come in front of you, or you see an agent friend on Facebook, you're not going to be as shy about reaching out to them or inviting them to something. So just find something that's super easy for you to do on a daily basis, so it becomes a habit, and just text one person a day. Hey, saw you had a great sale on 123 Main Street. Congratulations. Just do something to get yourself engaging other realtors.
I see that. I love that you engage them early on. Maybe get to know them, TMIY, find out what's really important to them instead of just like sharing everything, because some of those things, some agents aren't interested in stock, some agents aren't interested in RevShare, they just want to learn how to get more leads,
This is Kate.
That's what you would share with them. So when you have these meetings, when do you even talk EXP? Like, do you take them out to lunch? Do you usually do it by Zoom? I'm just curious about your process.
If they were local, I would definitely invite them to my office or coffee. Remember, a lot of my RevShare group is actually not local. So, I do a lot of Zoom. And then locally, though, I would invite them into the office, have a cup of coffee, show them around, and sit down with them here.
So I'm assuming when you came over, did you start your office immediately? Did you open up an office? Yeah. Okay. I guess that was the goal all along, for your 10 agents to have a place to come and Do they?
Yeah, and I did think it could be an attractor for EXP as well. I mean, I have way, again, hindsight being 2020. I mean, my office is way too big for what I need. So I've got plenty of space though to invite local potential EXP agents if you need a place to pop into, because most people really just want an office once or twice a week to come into. Like, even people that like an office will mainly work from home. So, having the office does have the ability for me to invite people that want a place to go. So it's something that I can use for recruiting as well.
Yeah. I can see that. All right, anything else here, gang? Anybody?
Shared sponsorship. Can you go a little bit more into detail? I think that some agents are questioning whether that's a good thing for EXP. Maybe they don't completely understand it. I know I don't 100% understand how it works yet. But I do see the value in, I don't have a personal office, but I do know some agents that do want to join an office whatever brokerage they go to. And co-sponsoring with you at your office would be an advantage. We could do it together then with that agent.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
one example.
100%. So I think co-sponsoring is great, actually, the way EXP did it. So co-sponsoring at EXP is not actually co-sponsoring. It's a reorganization of a downline. So like if Mark, you wanted to co-sponsor someone with me, say you knew someone in Tampa near me, and you're like, hey, I know this guy Jeff, it would be great to, the two of us could really give you a lot of support, right? So the challenge is the person that's the co-sponsor, they get paid in the downline, but their upline does not get paid. The primary sponsor, it's the same for them upline wise, except the person goes in their second level, not their first level. So like you have somebody that is in Tampa and you reach out to me and you say,
I have an agent that lives in Columbus, but also lives in Miami. I don't know how far you are from.
there's 4.5 hours, no big
Okay,
deal.
probably too far, but that would be
yeah, they're definitely not coming to my office, but so you reach out to me and you're like, hey Jeff, so the first thing would be like, who's the co-sponsor, who's the sponsor? So let's just assume in the scenario, I'm the sponsor, you're the co-sponsor, right? So what that means is the person is actually in your first level and they're in my second level. And then my upline gets paid and your upline does not get paid. You get paid 7 down, just like you always would. And I get paid 7 down like I always would. And as that person that you brought in, that's in my second level, my upline would get paid the same. So it's really not true co-sponsoring. It's inserting somebody in a tree, if that makes sense.
It does. It's interesting how you almost like create a whole nother leg.
Yep. So like all the people that joined EXP that then texted me a month later, 2 months later and said, hey Jeff, we wish we named you. We didn't understand how important the sponsor was, blah, blah, blah. Those are the people that are now reaching out to me saying, hey, can we, I can be the co-sponsor, you can be the sponsor, like, let's go do this together. And I'm like, let's do it. Because to me, it's like anybody can now raise their hand and basically be in my first level from a recruiting standpoint, not a RevShare standpoint, but a recruiting standpoint. Like if you were my co-sponsor, I don't get paid anything on you. But the people that you and I co-sponsor together, they're in my second level. Does everyone understand how the co-sponsoring thing works now?
Got some shaking heads. And the sponsor is the one who gets the FLQA as well?
They wouldn't, because they're in your second level.
So it's the co-sponsor.
So I'm not saying that I'm perfect on this. Obviously, I know like 95%. So if I'm off on one nuance, I apologize as far as the FLQA, but the FLQA would not go to the sponsor because they're really in your second level. That's my understanding. So if I'm wrong on that, that's the only thing I'm not sure about. Okay.
Also, I understand that it cannot be anyone they cannot be sponsored, anyone in your own organization.
I can do this with people on my 7th level. I can't do it with anybody between my 1st and 6th level. So if there's people in my 7th level, because I can basically like restart a tree with them. So I can now go 14 levels if I start co-sponsoring with my 7th person. I can keep going now.
Interesting.
Now I
Okay.
don't have anyone in my 7th level. So as of now, I cannot do co-sponsoring with anyone in my downline. I only have people in my 6th level, not 7.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. You can put someone below your 7th level and go another 7 levels.
Yeah, you can co-sponsor with them and you can keep going. Yep.
Very cool. Okay.
True story.
Anybody else? I know I got another big Zoom here in about 15 minutes. Anybody got another pressing question here for Jeff?
I
We
have
good?
a question.
Go ahead, Miss Kate.
Um, Curious. I almost attracted a nice brokerage, and at the last minute they chose Real, and that was about over a year ago. If I were to call and follow up with that person, what would you suggest, like me talking about? Um, we have a good relationship, so I just want to like stay in touch and maybe
Yeah.
throw out something.
Well, you should stay in touch. B, I think it's just, what's your experience been like? Come from curiosity, like, is it what you thought it would be? Don't bring up the president leaving, anything like that. Let them bring up any shakeups or things behind the scenes. So just be there, right? It's just let them talk. Hey, I know it's been about a year since you went to Real. How's the year been? Tell me. Like, and if it's been great, just say, hey, I'm so glad it's working out for you. Obviously, if there's anything I can ever do or invite you to a training that you don't have or blah, 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 I'm still here to be a resource for you. Just be there for them.
All right. Thanks for the positivity.
My pleasure.
What is their
Well, it's
code?
like, have you guys ever heard of the chosen one question? Has anybody ever read the book 7 Levels of Communication by Michael J. Mayer?
Yeah.
Okay, all of you should read that book, in my opinion. I hate telling people what they should do, but like, here we are, you should. So there's a question in the 7 Levels of Communication called the chosen one question. So it's generally for sales. So it's, hey, Kate, when you know somebody from Colorado, maybe a friend or family member that's relocating to Tampa Bay, Florida, who would you recommend that they call first for their real estate needs? So you're going to say, oh, this guy, Jeff Borham. And then I'm going to say, Kate, thank you so much. I so appreciate that. I'm going to be thankful for you. Like, I'm so happy that I can be your person in Tampa Bay. You could also say, hey, I know this guy, Bob, like I referred him someone 5 years ago. Bob's fantastic. And then I do what I just did. I'm like, oh, cool. Well, how do you know Bob? How do you meet him? What brokerage is he at? Maybe I want to meet Bob and see if EXP is the right fit. So like, it's just staying in curiosity, because there's really only 3 answers someone can give you if you ask them if you're their person. Like, hey, like, who would you recommend they call first? And they say, don't say you. They say either you, I don't know, or I have somebody. There's only 3 answers. So if they say they don't know, you just say, oh, I completely understand that real estate's not top of mind for everybody. It is what I do for a living. So I'm curious, what would it take for me to be that professional for you? So like, I know that there's only 3 answers they can give me. So I have my 3 responses, which are thank you, tell me about them, and what would it take for me to be that person for you? It's the same thing in agent attraction. If there was a change at Real and you were to go to another brokerage, where do you think you would go? Well, tell me about it. What about that brokerage excites you? What value are you looking for? So you can circle any conversation back to a motivation value conversation.
Thanks for that.
Chosen one question. There it is in the Mark put it in there. 7 levels of communication. Yeah, sounds good. Okay. Cool. If no one else has another question, let's wrap this thing up. Jeff, would you like me to send you the recording, my friend, when I get it?
Sure. Yeah, that was great. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys.
Dude, absolutely. Congrats on your success, man. I hope you have a stellar year, and I hope you hit your 300 agents, my friend. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thanks for coming, everybody, and have a wonderful day and a great week, gang. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.